I'd first of all like to extend my congratulations to the other honorees here tonight. I cite you by name, and that's, I have trouble remembering my own name. And I'm certainly so happy to see the number of friends that I have that came to here. And it's just wonderful. It really is. It's a wonderful feeling. And I just look at Louie, Kenny, and Mickey, and the rest of the guys, and we go back a long way. And I remember we had, I may have been the leading scorer, and I would tell you about Louie. Louie doesn't forgive me, but he says, we used to practice in every practice for 2 years with George Basaka. Come out to the key and they'd throw the ball to me. And they would crisscross in practice. I'd throw the ball, give the ball to one of them. Usually worked. But he said, it's been 70 years, Liptak, and he says, you never once passed me the ball in the game. So anyway, but it's so, thank you for coming. When I first got the word about my nomination, I was obviously quite thrilled. And a lot of things go through your mind. And two things really hit me. It's not very original, but the two things were family and sacrifice. Parents. And I was a very, very fortunate kid. I really was. I grew up with wonderful parents. I grew up in a wonderful time. It was right after World War II, and I lived in a little village, seaside village in the south end of Bridgeport, and down at the end of that street, there was a lot. And brother, that was important because we spent so much time at that lot every day. We'd go there in the summertime to play baseball. Fall, we'd play football. In the winter, we'd go up to the street on Atlantic Street, even in the wintertime, play basketball. That's where we learned. In baseball, we would go there, and believe me, it wasn't very uncommon, or it was uncommon, it was uncommon to get at least 18 guys to play a baseball game, which is a wonderful way to hone your skills, no question about it. But when we were young, we were playing not just guys our own age, but guys who were even back from the war were playing. So you're playing against experienced guys, and it was a tremendous way to learn. I love sports. I didn't realize, you don't really as a kid, but I did. I love sports tremendously, and probably to a fault. And I say so because when my professional career ended, baseball, and I came into the real world and raising kids and everything, the one thing I wasn't very good at and never paid any attention to is things like fixing things. And my wife said to me one day, in not a very fuzzy or warm tone, she said, you should have been a poster boy for the Yellow Pages. It was true, believe me, it still is. I'd just like to say a couple words. We talk about parents and sacrifice. I'd like to say a couple words about my dad. He was so important in my life, as was my mother. But my father grew up with a fairly large family back in 1900. And it was tough. His father died when he hardly ever knew his father. And he had a third-grade education because he actually had to go out and work, bring something home for the family, because it was very difficult. But he was a very good athlete, my father. He really was. And it led on to him playing ball and getting a job at a factory and learning to become a toolmaker, which he worked for many, many years. But he also was very adventurous. He tried other things. He tried the gas station business, which, by the way, I saw a picture of him the other day. Next to the gas pump was 11 cents a gallon. But in any way, he did. But he did more than that. You forget about things, and you take things for granted. And I think we all do that. Somebody asked me, and I think it was Chris. I swear to God, he asked me, who was your hero? You ever have a hero? Well, I think he was looking for sports, which would have been DiMaggio when I was a little kid. But it was a very easy answer. It was my father. No question about it. I mentioned maybe sacrifice. Sacrifice. I never saw a man work so hard, even when he had a restaurant or he had a little parking lot downtown Birchford. He still would work as a tool maker. We'd work 2 jobs. Now, I know a lot of you people my age, parents, you can probably identify with that. It was hard. Those people worked hard. Jobs were hard to come by. But they did it. They did it. And when time came, I have a brother who went to prep. He was my older brother. And when time came for my brother to go to high school, Fairfield Prep, it pretty much just started. And my father had heard about it, my mother, and I guess there was, what is this school and all that, but you listen to it. Well, it costs money to go there. Nothing like it does now, but that didn't matter. I'll work extra to send them there. And those people, they lived during the Great Depression, and a few dollars, which is what it cost then, was a lot of money. But he said no. People who lived in those days really understood the value of education because they didn't get it. It was very difficult to come by. So they sent my brother to school at prep, and of course I came here, and I would never regret ever having come to the prep. I know it's unbelievably expensive now and everything, but when I understand, it's true today. Anybody, parents want something better for their children. Better. They want something. They want to give them the best opportunity. If they can do it, good parents do it. As I said, I'm very fortunate to be here tonight. The only regret I have is that I lost my beautiful wife, Beverly, just a few years ago. Hopefully she's looking down on myself and my beautiful children, who I love so dearly, Karen, Kathy, and Kim. And I can't believe what they did with that video. It's amazing. I want to thank you very much, each and every one of you, and God bless you.
Big round of applause for Ronald Liptak.